Emotions have always been a central element of human experience, and understanding their role in shaping our lives and societies has been a recurring theme in philosophy, anthropology, and cultural studies. In this essay, I will explore how several influential thinkers, including Clifford Geertz, Walter Benjamin, G.W.F. Hegel, and Edmund Husserl, have approached the topic of emotional structure and its relationship to spiritual entities in ancient cultural stories. Clifford Geertz, an anthropologist, argued that human cultures are systems of symbols that give meaning to our experiences and shape our emotional responses. In his essay Deep Play, Notes on the Balinese Cockfight, Geertz describes how the Balinese cockfight is not just a simple gambling game, but a complex system of symbols that reflects deep cultural values and emotions. The cockfight is a metaphor for Balinese society, where status, prestige, and honor are highly valued. The emotions involved in the cockfight, such as pride, shame, and envy, are not just individual reactions but are deeply embedded in the cultural system. Geertz also points out that the Balinese view the cockfight as a spiritual event, with the outcome determined by the intervention of supernatural forces. This belief in spiritual entities and powers is not unique to Balinese culture but is found in many ancient cultural stories around the world. Geertz argues that these stories are not just fanciful tales but are fundamental to the emotional structure of the society that tells them. He writes, myths, in sum, are stories which, through their form, content, and intention, refer to something transcending themselves, to something whose mode of existence is other than that of the myths themselves. Walter Benjamin, a philosopher and cultural critic, was interested in the relationship between art, culture, and politics. In his essay Theses on the Philosophy of History, Benjamin argues that historical progress is not linear but is marked by sudden breaks and ruptures. He describes these breaks as messianic moments, where the present is illuminated by the light of the past, and a new future becomes possible. Benjamin also believed that art had the power to reveal these messianic moments and to challenge the dominant emotional structures of society. He writes, "The true picture of the past flits by. The past can be seized only as an image which flashes up at the instant when it can be recognized and is never seen again." For Benjamin, art was not just a reflection of society but a tool for transforming it. G.W.F. Hegel, a philosopher, was interested in the role of emotions in shaping human history and society. In his Phenomenology of Spirit, Hegel argues that human consciousness is shaped by a dialectical process of opposing forces. He believed that human history was driven by a struggle between different forms of consciousness, with each new stage representing a higher level of development. Hegel also believed that emotions played a crucial role in this dialectical process. He writes, "The emotions are the moving forces of history." According to Hegel, emotions are not just individual reactions but are deeply embedded in the cultural and social structures of a society. The dominant emotional structure of a society shapes the way individuals think and act, and can either promote or hinder social progress. Edmund Husserl, a philosopher and founder of phenomenology, was interested in the relationship between consciousness and the world. He believed that the world is not just a collection of objects but is shaped by our perceptions and interpretations of it. Husserl argued that emotions were an essential aspect of consciousness, and that they played a crucial role in shaping our experiences of the world. Husserl also believed that spiritual entities, such as gods, angels, and demons, played a significant role in shaping our emotional experiences. In his lecture course Phenomenology of Internal Time Consciousness, Husserl describes how the belief in spiritual entities can transform our experience of the world. He writes, "The world becomes full of hidden and mysterious powers, and the emotional tone of our experience is changed accordingly." Husserl argues that the belief in spiritual entities can create a sense of awe and wonder, transforming our experience of the world from a mundane and ordinary one to a magical and enchanted one. This transformation, according to Husserl, is not just a subjective one but is deeply embedded in the cultural and historical structures of a society. In conclusion, the concept of emotional structure provides a useful framework for understanding the intended effects of spiritual entities in ancient cultural stories. Geertz, Benjamin, Hegel, and Husserl all recognize the crucial role that emotions play in shaping human experience and society. They also recognize the power of spiritual entities to transform our emotional experiences of the world and to challenge the dominant emotional structures of society. By understanding the emotional structures of our societies and the role of spiritual entities in shaping them, we can gain a deeper appreciation of the complex and multifaceted nature of human experience.